Here's trouble.
Perfect.
What's up guys, welcome to today's video. Some of you who have been around for a while will probably definitely recognize this car and the significance that it has with us here, but those who don't, this is Luke's EH Holden that he built. He's built it completely pretty much from the ground up. So I actually met Luke when I was selling my R31 the first time. So not the time that I sold it to the people that now own it that are keeping it at Archerfield, but the first time that I sold it, I actually sold it to Luke here. So the EH here was originally a really tough 202. Luke just wanted a little bit more. He was looking for an R31 specifically. He was specifically looking for one with a turbo RB30 that already had the 25 box and the tail shaft, because he knew that it should all be the correct dimensions to fit straight into his EH here, which he was right. So Luke actually bought the R31 off me the first time. He pulled the motor out, the box, the tail shaft, even the diff, all out of the R31. This is essentially where the entire driveline of my R31 has ended up from the first time. And then Luke is the person who actually sold that bare non-rolling shell back to me, which I then rebuilt, and the rest is history. It's on the channel. So this is the old engine, gearbox, tail shaft diff out of the R31. So the first time I actually met Luke, he came here. He had to do something with his family on the day that he came to look at the 31. It was like a last minute decision to come and look at it, because I wanted way more than he wanted to spend for the running gear for the EH, but it already had the turbo and everything, and he was sort of somewhat interested if he could get it cheap enough. So he ducked out here. It was like 5:30 in the morning when he got here. On a winter morning, it was still pretty much dark, and it was like frosty, like cold. Yeah, we went out, I drove out the driveway with him in the car, and just dumped it in second out the front of the driveway, and just spun second through to fourth up the street at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, then he bought it, and that's how I met Luke. Originally, Luke's plan was to just chuck it in, do a budget. You know, it was meant to be budget. Everything was just going to go straight from the 31 into the EH, and he was going to be happy with that. But we all know that that's not how it works, is it, Luke?
Yeah, no.
So a lot of you know when I sold that R31, it was completely stock engine, unopened. I was running it with that Microtech and the 3076 at around 16 pound. It was making 320 wheel horsepower. It was awesome. But being completely stock, it did have a shelf life, a lifespan. Unfortunately, Luke got it in the EH and didn't do too much work before it completely finished off the head gasket, the stock perforated RB30 head gaskets, which are not that great. So it had a pretty good life, it did pretty well, but unfortunately Luke drew the short straw with it, got the short end of the stick, and it did the head gasket. So off came the head. Luke's done head studs. He's also gone to a completely new hot side setup because, as we know, those eBay 3076s, as good as they are for what they are, they're just not the best. They're not really that efficient. Luke wanted more. We've got a Borg Warner S366 on this thing now, so nice big frame turbo for what it is. What we've got is essentially my old RB30, still stock bottom end. It's got head studs now and a multi-layer steel head gasket. We've got a T4 S366, which is a lot more turbo than it used to have. Still got the old all performance garage forward facing plenum. Big thanks to Mick there from APG. He does an awesome job on these things. And we've obviously got some new injectors to go some more power. So this thing is now running on E85, dedicated E85. And as you can see, we've ditched the single coil Dizzy ignition system because Luke has actually gone to a newer, but still pretty bad, Microtech LT16. So it's running a Microtech LT16, E85, still running the old RB25 manual. So still a manual car. The thing's going to be absolutely terrifying on the street. It's currently made 412, 15? 415. So it's made 415. Luke was in a bit of a rush to get the car ready for his wedding. So it made 415, and that's sort of just where they stopped because they were short of time. So brought it back to us now to finish it off, essentially. As much as we don't particularly like Microtechs, we were stoked to get the opportunity to finish this thing off. Luke is talking about a new iteration of the car where he plans on going auto with a new ECU, updating a fair few things and making a little bit more pepper. But for now, he just wants to sort of get the most potential out of the combo that he's got, and that's what we're doing here today. Sorry guys, my mistake. It isn't just a bog stock bottom end anymore. We do now have ARP rod bolts.
Oh, absolute game changer.
So now we can rev to like 7.5, because I definitely didn't rev it to 7.5 with the stockers in it. This motor, I tell you what, it's copped a pounding. Do you re-ring it when you...
Yes.
Yeah, you re-rung it.
Re-ring an ACL bearing.
Yeah, okay, so it has had a rebuild. Yep.
All in all, the bottom end was in still quite good condition.
Quite good nick, yep. Which is good, because I definitely wasn't kind to it. So it has been rebuilt, ARP rod bolts as well, so should be able to rev this thing a bit. But apart from that, just stock RB30 rods, pistons and crank. And we're hoping to crack 500 today, as long as Luke's happy for us to push that up.
Push on.
Push on. Push on, he says. Send it to the moon. You want to take the bottom off, the bonnet off, in case we eject the piston?
Nah, because then I'll get a glass bonnet too.
I love it. But anyway, as you can see, this car is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful car. But I can't imagine how terrifying this thing would be to drive, to be honest. So you can see the RB fits. We've got a nice big spowl fan here on the rad, and the intercooler is tucked up there behind the bar. This thing is just done so nicely, so neatly. I'm a huge fan of EHs, really big fan of EHs, and I absolutely love this EH particularly. You know, I'm a little bit biased because I do absolutely love my RB30s, you all know that. So, absolutely love this thing. a little bit of excitement for the day. Cruising along, going alright. Boom! Whoopsie daisies. So that's a little bit upsetting. Done a bit of damage, but lucky it didn't come through the floor or anything. But after all those years, this is the same one-piece shaft. It was in my 31 for all them years drifting.
It's not a one piece no more, mate.
And never had a problem. Well, yeah, it's not a one-piece anymore. But it did a lot of RPM when I was drifting and never had an issue. So that last run was 434. Just getting to 20 pounds. So just getting boost sorted, sort of where we wanted to be. And yeah, big let go. Definitely had better days on the dyno. At least we didn't do a nugget garage and smash a fuel tank and get
Didn't
fuel
smash,
everywhere.
didn't catch fire, and yeah, didn't hit anyone, and no one got hurt. So that's the main thing. The car is repairable.
Bit of damage to the floor, particularly this side. But hopefully should bash out. It's unfortunate. Made that 432 that last run before the tail shaft let go. That was at 18 pound, which I still had a lot of boost to go, and still only 10 degrees of timing. So we were well on our way to 500 today, which is a shame because it's would have been awesome. So anyway, that's the games we play. So I was just about to get the camera back out and film a few more runs as well. We were just getting to that point where we were getting pretty happy with how it was getting on, but yeah. Would have had to get our third strap trick out to get this waviness out, but that's at 18 pound. I was pretty happy to push this thing to around 24 today, and obviously take heaps more timing because it is got a Pro TXM cam in it, and we're on E85, so would have taken a heap more timing than what's in it, and I was pretty happy to jam about another 6 pound into it. So anyway, could have been worse. Like I said, could have ruptured a fuel tank, could have caused other problems, could have come flying out and hit something or someone, could have come through the floor and hurt me. You know, there's plenty worse that can come out of a tail shaft letting go at that sort of RPM. So could have been worse as much as this really sucks for the day. Really, really crappy. Lucky I did film a few early runs and we were in a position stuck where I hadn't started filming any runs yet. But yeah, this thing sounds off tap. Sounds real good. It's a very angry EH, especially being manual street car with it's all still EH front end, eh? All still EH steering. Yeah. And like, look at the steering wheel. I couldn't even imagine how this thing's gonna be to drive on the street at 500 wheel. It's gonna be redonkulous. So yeah, Microtech's doing classic Microtech things. It's super inconsistent. The injectors that are in this thing aren't ideal either. So it's sort of like the worst combination of things. We've got cammed RB30 on E85, no IAC. Siemens Decker injectors, which personally we aren't super big fans of. And of course the Microtech, which as we all know is not exactly the pick of the bunch. So it's been a little bit of an inconsistent day as far as getting it sorted, but I was pretty happy with how the fuel curve was going for a Microtech. So it's doing alright. It'll be cool. It'll be good. Anyway guys, obviously that's the end of the EH today. That's gonna be it. So thanks for watching as always. Sorry we didn't get our full results. Big apologies to Luke here. Not that it's anyone's fault, but just a really crappy time. But anyway, hopefully we'll see the EH back with an upgraded tail shaft sometime fairly soon. And we can crack our magic 500 with it, because I think it'll be an animal. Looking forward to it. So thanks for watching as always guys. Peace out. We'll see you bye.